Welcome to Jamaica Worldwide, and today we are looking at 10 child stars of Jamaica's popular music.
I saw me pick up my contemporary and show them all the bars. I got muffin we and Jamaica me in a me own class. Send up in a movie but me and beg gonna give me pass me weed. But no me hotter than 20 pepper sauce.
Reggae and Dancehall is seen as an escape for many in Jamaica due to its remarkable impact on the world and what it has done for the artists that have graced the genre. For the youngsters looking at the giants of the industry, it was something to aspire to. Some of these aspirants found success at an early age, which was not unfamiliar, but still a remarkable feat nonetheless. These are 10 of the most notable acts that made a name for themselves while quite young and went on to become child stars of the Jamaican music industry. Stick around to find out which of these child stars had a father who was also a child star in the industry. Of course, if you are not yet subscribed, we ask that you subscribe to the channel. And yes, hit the notification bell to ensure that you get videos as soon as they are released. Number 10. Little Lenny. Nigel Grandison, more popularly known as Little Lenny, found his widely controversial song Gun in a Buggy while still in high school. The song came to him in a situation at school where his friend asked him for $40 to go to the doctor because a girl shot him. The term shot in this context refers to contracting the sexually transmitted disease gonorrhea. After Lenny had a big laugh about the situation, he took to writing the song right then and there. Lenny was making attempts to become a recording artist, but at that time, he had given up on those aspirations, deciding instead to focus on his studies. It was Tony Kelly who convinced him, asking him if he wanted to record for his friend, who was starting a record label called Shocking Vibes. He at first declined, but later changed his mind and went on to record Gun in a Buggy at the Penthouse recording studio for Patrick Roberts, the owner of Shocking Vibes Productions. The song wasn't an instant hit, but it was when Gemini Disco tested out the song with a crowd at a dance that they realized the song was getting a very good reception. The song took off from there and became a classic, which Little Lenny had to record a radio-friendly version called Healthy Body. He scored other hit songs, including Boom Flick and All Fruits Ripe. He performed for a while with the Shocking Vibes crew among Beanie Man and Little Kirk until he later went solo. Today, Little Lenny is a businessman but still has a presence in music where necessary.
I'll be your guiding star, my darling, cross my heart. Oh God!
Number 9. Coppercat. At 8 years old, Coppercat, whose real name is Demar Graham, had a love of DJing and a desire to make it into the music business. This wouldn't materialize until he met the man who would change the course of his life and become his mentor, Richie Stephens. Stephens was shooting a music video for his hit song Winner when Coppercat, who was on the scene, got to do an impromptu audition for Stephens, who was totally amazed by the youngster's ability to DJ. Stephens saw potential in Coppercat and knew the opportunities that could be afforded to him in Kingston. So after getting permission of Coppercat's uncle, Stephens fully took Demar under his wings, and a very excited Coppercat became a part of Richie Stephens' family, living with him in Kingston. Stephens penned the song Stay in School for him, and Coppercat created an impact with it and enjoyed heavy rotation on all the major radio stations in Jamaica. Coppercat also got the chance to showcase his talent as Stephens brought him on most shows he was booked on. Coppercat had quite a few other songs, such as Wise Up, Bend the Tree, and Run the Version, giving the youngster the chance to establish himself as an artist and promote positive and conscious music. With a hit song and getting the opportunity to perform on top shows, most artists would opt to fully focus on music, But Stevens encouraged Coppercat to focus on his schoolwork. Music took a backseat while Cat passed his GSAT from Stella Maris and went on to Jamaica College, where he successfully did CXC and CAPE exams. While at Jamaica College, Coppercat was a very active student and involved in extracurricular activities. He was president of Student Council in 2006 to 2007 and also a member of the Jamaica College Manning Cup team. And finally, upon leaving Jamaica College, he embarked on fulfilling his purpose of building his career in music, but this was short-lived. Sadly, Coppercat was killed in Kingston on January 21, 2011. Coppercat received a fatal shot to the head near the house of his mentor Richie Stevens in the Waterloo area of Kingston. He was allegedly shot during a robbery for his phone. A distraught Richie Stevens appealed for a stop to the crime and violence that was ravaging the country. These sentiments were echoed by Coppercat's song featuring Atomic entitled Make It Stay. Number 8. Risto Benji. Risto Benji, whose real name is Michael Benjamin, rose to prominence in the late 80s and early 90s as a young entertainer and recorded with Lloyd James, aka King Jammies of the legendary King Jammies studio. James took a chance on Risto Benji with the songs Gimme the Money and the raunchy Passport Buddy. Radio gobbled up Gimme the Money, while the latter was successful in the dance halls. James said the song made him tour the world. Risto Benji was a #1 DJ. We go on tour with him all over the world and mash up the place. With his newfound fame, Risto Benji started hanging out with the likes of Shabba Ranks and other high-profile acts. He also recorded Mama Cry with Beanie Man and Pepper Pot with Ninja Man. But King Jammies explained that at the time, Risto Benji was very good, but also bad at the same time. He was hard to control. Jammies described him as a rude picnic. Jammies explained that Risto didn't stop DJing, but due to the lifestyle that Risto Benji was involving himself in, Jammies was reluctant to release songs under those kind of vibes. Jammies says, "We did have song with him, but due to him lifestyle where him did a live, me couldn't put it out them time there because me never want nobody find no fault and talk no foolishness. So I was waiting on things to cool off." The DJ had found himself facing the court on robbery and larceny charges. Up to the time of his death, he was facing the Spanish Town Resident Magistrate's Court in a case of robbery with aggravation. At one point, he was also beaten by an angry mob as he allegedly attempted to steal a motorcycle. An eyewitness said that the DJ was soundly beaten before he was handed over to the New Kingston police. On May 16, 2011, Risto Benji was shot and killed in the area known as Vietnam in Church Pen, St. Catherine. Benji was sitting outside his house when a gunman walked up to him and opened fire, hitting him several times. He was rushed to the Spanish Town Hospital, where he later died. Johnny Wonder, who was saddened by his death, explained that him and Benji went way back to the late 80s and early 90s at King Jammies. He explained that Benji lived a hard life and that he would be in a better place for sure.
Lizard lab, swamp jam, Irish mash, nami bak, beetroot, carrot, steamed fish, macabre.
Number 7. Jordyn Pantry.
Maybe hard, but I'll do it when I'm back on my feet again.
Jordyn Pantry is actually a gospel artist, but has been a popular Jamaican talent since she was very young. Pantry shot to fame locally when she participated in the popular Rising Stars talent reality series. She finished in second place behind the talented Romain Virgo She would later team up with another previous Rising Stars competitor, Noddy Virtue, for a cover of Bon Jovi's Bed of Roses, which topped the Jamaican music countdown charts. What some may not know is that before the Rising Stars competition, she also entered and finished in second place in the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission JCDC Gospel Song Competition with the song I'll Give My Heart. The song was instantly a classic and connected with audiences with her innocent but commanding stage presence. Pantry was for some time married but had a very public divorce, after which she became an advocate for the recognition of domestic abuse and depression among Jamaicans. To date, she has performed all over Jamaica and internationally, leaving her mark of professionalism with every stage performance. Number 6, Yami Bolo.
And I'm so glad you came into my life. Wow, wow.
Yami Bolo is a native of the Kingston 13 area, and naturally, he originally gained exposure to the reggae industry through Sugar Minot's Youth Man promotions. He is greatly influenced by Bob Marley, who passed on in 1981, and is a devout Rastafarian, having been baptized with the Ethiopian Orthodox Church and given the name Tesfa Selassie. At Youth Man Promotion Studios, he was also influenced and mentored by Augustus Pablo, who taught him to play the melodica. He had his greatest success working with Augustus Pablo in the late 1980s and early 1990s. On singles such as Struggle in Babylon and many others. His first single, however, was produced and released by Sugar Minot on the Youth Man Promotions label. His Rastafarian-inspired music is listened to around the world, particularly in reggae niche markets like Japan, Australia, Britain, France, USA, and Germany. Bolo earned international acclaim in 1994 from his collaboration with Japanese reggae performer Kazafumi Mizayawa, more affectionately known as Mia. Their album called Love is Dangerous sold 500,000 units in Japan. He gained further popularity in the worldwide market with his contribution to Damian Marley's 2001 Grammy-winning album Halfway Tree in 2002, specifically the song Still Searching, which was a massive hit. Bolo also collaborated with other prominent artists and producers, including Tenor Saw, Sugar Minot, Capleton, Sly and Robbie, and King Jammies. He has been performing Rastafarian works since the mid-1980s, touring with different reggae groups, including Augustus Pablo's Rockers Crew. He continues to be a force in reggae music to this day.
Holy man, when I King Selassie, Rastafari.
Before we continue, please check to ensure that you are subscribed to the channel. Hit the notification bell to ensure that you get videos as soon as they are released. Don't forget to also like and share the video to your friends. Thank you. Number 5, Tristan Palmer. Tristan Palmer came from Delamere Avenue and Waltham Park area of Kingston, and he started on his journey being a singer at a very young age. Tristan was brought up in the Roman Catholic Church, and that is where he started singing, doing backing vocals for his mother, who was also a good singer. As it relates to reggae, he first began by singing alongside Soul Syndicate guitarist Tony Chin, and eventually his aunt Hilda would introduce him to Bunny Striker Lee, who was impressed with his singing. Bunny Lee would go on to record and release his first songs, Love Is a Message and Dream of Me, when Palmer was only 8 years old. Following that, he would record A-Class Girl and Spliff Tail for the Black Solidarity label, which was co-run by Palmer and Ozzy Thomas. He would later meet Sugar Minot and Tony Tuff, who had the group African Brothers, Tony Tuff would teach Tristan with his guitar and have him fill in with harmonies for some African Brothers songs when they would record at Channel 1 and Studio 1. Tristan would be one of the original artists on the Youthman promotion sound system, along with Little John, Captain Sinbad and Steely from Steely and Clevie. At about 16 years old, Tristan would decide to start his own record label. He went on to buy a house from his earnings and built an adjoining studio, naming it the Star Creation Music Studio. He started out recording with artists such as Beanie Man, Little Kirk, Josie Wales, Papa San, Professor Nuts and more. Tristan has expressed that he was instrumental in discovering artists such as Fantan Moja and was the person who introduced Scientist and Tony Kelly to the Tough Gang studio. Palmer made a major breakthrough with his performance in 1979 at the General Penitentiary Memorial Concert for Claude Massop, which also featured a performance by Bob Marley. At one point in the early 1980s, Palmer had 9 songs in the Jamaica's top 40. They included his biggest hit, Entertainment, which was produced by Nkrumah Jah Thomas. Palmer became a popular artist in the Sing J style in the early 1980s, enjoying further success. Songs like What a Bubbling, Spliff Tail, Raving, Touch Me, Take Me, and Run Around Woman. Palmer continues to record to this day and produces for other popular acts.
To this Aruba Duba session, we gonna dance to this Aruba Duba session.
Number 4. Stephen the Genius McGregor.
That's why you be careful. And the people you know, look at them no real them a foe.
Son of legendary reggae singer Freddie McGregor, who is also a child star himself, Stephen the Genius McGregor is already a legend in his own right. Stephen had his first hits in Jamaica in 2004 while he was still attending Arden High School, and a local DJ, Future Fambo, gave him the nickname The Genius.
And I think our fanboy did say, was like, yo, yeah, how much? Like, yo, yeah, you're just 12, you're a genius. So I think that's how the name did start.
At the age of 5, Stephen recorded and released his first single called School Done Rule, which was on Reggae for Kids compilation album. His father had passed up a record deal with Risto Records, choosing instead to create his own record label, which he named Big Ship, after his 1982 hit single from the album of the same name. By the age of 7, Stephen had taught himself to play bass, keyboards, guitar, and violins by mimicking the songs he heard on the radio. Stephen's key attribute is his versatility. He has worked with Hasidic reggae artist Mattis Yahu, as well as delivered lovers rock songs for his father, then radio ready pop reggae for Chino. He produced hit rhythms such as Red Bull and Guinness, Ghetto Whiskey, Shadows Rhythm, Darker Shadow Rhythm, Power Cut Rhythm. Red Bull and Guinness Rhythm was his first Billboard hit, which made the charts with Mavado's What Dem A Do, with co-producer Deli Ranks when Stephen was just 15 years old. His rhythms were essentially the soundtrack for the now infamous lyrical Gully Gaza feud between dancehall stars Mavado and Vybz Kartel. In addition to his rhythm productions and many singles, the Genius also produced the entirety of his brother Chino's eponymous album in 2011 and the majority of Sean Paul's 2009 album Imperial Blaze, and Mavado's Mr. Brooks A Better Tomorrow, also from 2009. He wrote and produced several songs for international artists such as J-pop singer Mika Nakashima, R&B singers Neo and Estelle, Drake, and pop star Nelly Furtado, whose The Genius produced song Don't Leave Me appeared on her 2012 album The Spirit Indestructible. He also writes and performs his own songs, with hits such as Careful, Can't Friend Again, and Look a Girl with his brother Chino McGregor. In 2017, Billboard listed The Genius as one of the producers who brought back dancehall to the mainstream, noting his work on Drake's hit song Controller off the multi-platinum selling album Views. Stephen continues to produce hits and is one of the most sought after producers in the world.
And remember, Cartel powered at the studio. But literally, the intro for the song I play, and as soon as him opened the door, Chat and no bleach with cricket. He just walk back out and walk straight on the booth and just put on the headphone. I'm just gonna say, here we go again.
Number 3, Wayne J.
You want pass your exam, work for that. You want money in your hand, work for that. You want car and van, work for that. You want house and land, work for that.
Born Wayne Anthony Smith, Wayne J burst onto the scene with a song called Chikungunya, or One Panadol, which was about the chikungunya virus epidemic in Jamaica in 2014. Since then, he had continued to consistently put out music from then being a youngster until today. Wayne J's popularity grew as a stage performer, and coupled with his recordings and his father as his manager, he was able to capitalize on the chikungunya epidemic that was prevalent in Jamaica in the mid-2010s. He followed up with other songs such as Slack Him Out, 18 or Older, and 2018's Tam. His refreshing message of age-appropriate music was different and struck a chord with the Jamaican diaspora and gave him a niche. He would go on to do an EP project with fellow reggae and dancehall artist Black Hero, which featured a collab with Skillibeng. The song Young Boss Remix became very popular and reintroduced him to the Jamaican audience as slightly older with a now more mature approach to music, but remains a solid stage show performer with improving commercial appeal. Number 2, Ghost. Jamaican reggae and dancehall artist Ghost, whose real name is Carlton Hilton, is best known for songs such as his dancehall hits Bodyguard and Love You. At about 5 years old, he would go to Clarendon to live with his mother. For money, he would go to dances in the area, and he and his friends would pick up bottles that were left on the ground by patrons. These bottles they will sell back to the manufacturers. One day Ghost was home, and like many other days, he was hungry and was going over to a friend's house who had promised him some food. In his eagerness to get across the road, he did not look up or down the street to notice the motorcycle that was coming. He was hit and flung into the air, only waking up after he was in the hospital in Lionel Town. Concerned about having money to take care of her son, his mother sent him back to Kingston to stay with his father. This was right after the incident, and young Carlton's face was still bandaged up from the incident. He avoided going outdoors, but one day when his friends were playing football, he would look outside, and one of his friends noticed him with all the bandages on his face, saying that he looked like a ghost. After this, he would stay inside trying to avoid the jokes and laughter. But eventually, a couple days after, he went out and faced the world and getting the nickname Ghost. He became a popular performer as a youngster, performing covers of popular R&B songs from the United States. He first gained recognition in 1993 for Clifton specialist Dylan on Raga songs, partnering with DJ Culture as the duo popularly known as Ghost and Culture. Ghost also went on to become a member of the Monster Shack crew in 1996, and he is most known for this association.
For my grateful memory of your family, tell me if you get the truth.
He joined Jamaican singer Tony Curtis on 1997's Wine, produced by Classical People for Opera House Production. In 1998, he wrote What Have You Done with Anthony Cameron. With Ghost's growing popularity, it is said that this was the cause of Monster Shack Crew's breakup, as he was appearing with the group less and less, focusing more on a solo career. His hit song Love You materialized out of an agreement with Danny Brownie, who was Red Rat's manager at the peak of his career. Brownie had asked Ghost to do a song with Red Rat for his album, and with Ghost having the song Love You in his brain, but no rhythm for it, he made a deal with Brownie to do the song for Red Rat on the condition that Brownie would do the rhythm for the song. Love You is the biggest original song that Ghost has produced to date, and is a classic in reggae and dancehall. Before we continue, please remember to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Please remember to hit the notification bell so you can get videos as soon as they are released. Number 1. Barrington Levy.
I'm not into come, Rosie, tell me to come. Said she didn't have a daughter, she didn't have a son. Said if the lift doesn't work, run up the stairs and come. Cause if you don't come quick, you're not gonna see your son.
Barrington Levy has one of the most recognized and most unique voices in the world. But in addition to that, he was a popular reggae vocalist ever since he was a child. Barrington Ainsworth Levy was born in Clarendon, Jamaica, and knew very young what he wanted to do as a career. He formed a band called the Mighty Multitude with his cousin Everton Dakers, and the pair released the song My Black Girl in 1977. At that time, Levy was only 13 years old. By the next year, Levy had established his solo career with the release of the song A Long Time Since We Don't Have No Love. Even though the single was not very popular, Levy himself was a well-known performer in Jamaican dancehalls at the age of 14 years old. In the mid-1970s, Barrington Levy met Hyman Wright through Wade Trinity Brahma. According to Delroy Wright, Hyman Wright's brother, Hyman recorded a host of tracks with Barrington Levy prior to introducing him to Henry Junja Laws. Those tracks would eventually be included on the album Bounty Hunter, which was released on the Ja Life record label. By the time his Robin Hood album was released in 1980, Levy was one of the biggest Jamaican stars. He saw his international fame growing as well, especially in the United Kingdom. Levy made his debut as a producer on the rare 1981 showcase album titled Run Come Here, which was issued on the Canadian Puff Records label. The late 1980s saw Levy, now in his 20s, slow down his recording output, though he continued to perform and record regularly and played at Sunsplash every year from 1987 to 1995. His fortunes were revived by 2 cover versions of Bob Andy songs, My Time and Too Experienced, both produced by Just Crew, and he was signed by Island Records in 1991 for the Divine album. In 1998, he released Living Dangerously, which included a collaboration with one of Jamaica's most prolific DJs, Bounty Killer. This song was and still is a classic in dancehall. He then gained international acclaim when he collaborated with Shine for 2 hit songs, Bad Boy and Bonnie and Shine. Levy has had a very stellar career since he was young and still continues to make hits until this.
Scene.
Booyaka!
Scene.
Kindly remember to like the video, share and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell to get videos as soon as they are released. Thank you for watching. This is Jamaica Worldwide.